Hi everyone, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. In this short YouTube lesson, we're going to look at how you can introduce yourself as a lawyer. First impressions count, so make sure you get it right. Welcome back to my Study Legal English YouTube channel. I'm Louise and I'm here to help you improve your legal English. Before we get started, just a quick reminder to subscribe if you're not already and hit the notification button to get notified on all of my upcoming videos. So let's get started. So first of all, how to use this guide. You can use this guide if you are presenting yourself at a conference or a networking event or pitching to clients. You might need to adapt it to the specific interaction. And just pay attention that apart from the initial greeting, the phrases are not in a specific order. So let's go. At the beginning, you want to use a greeting. For example, hi, nice to meet you, or hello, it's a pleasure to meet you. Next, it's a good idea to give your name. For example, I'm plus your full name or your first name, or my name's plus your full name or your first name. So, for example, hi, my name's Louise Kulbicki. You can call me Louise, or please call me Louise. Everyone calls me Louise. Of course, it depends on the context. You might want to leave that second phrase out. Next, you can give your job overview. For example, I'm a lawyer, or I'm an in-house lawyer based in Paris, in France, or in Berlin, in Germany. Or you might want to say, I'm a, and then use the word from your own language and then explain it. It's similar to a lawyer in English. Let's just look a little bit at some words for legal professionals. You have the word lawyer. A lawyer is a general word for someone who works in law. It usually means someone who is a solicitor or a barrister in England or an attorney in the USA. I always tell my students to call themselves a lawyer because it's a general word, and certainly in England and Wales and in the USA and in most countries, people will understand what that means. It's also non-specific to your qualifications, so you're not going to make people confused by saying I'm a solicitor or a barrister, and they might actually think that you are qualified in England. So another word is an in-house lawyer. And this is a lawyer who works for one company in the legal department of a company. For example, a lawyer within Coca-Cola. I imagine they have a legal department there, and you are a lawyer for the company. A solicitor is a lawyer in England who provides legal advice. They draft documents. They can also litigate, but in the lower courts. A barrister is a lawyer in England specialising in advocacy, which means presenting in court and arguing on behalf of someone in court, and they can do this in all the courts. A solicitor advocate is a solicitor who has taken an extra qualification so that they can, like a barrister, advocate in all of the courts. An attorney is a lawyer in the USA who can advise and represent clients in court. So in the USA, they don't have a distinction between the two professions as in England, solicitor and barrister. We then have counsel. This is a general word for a lawyer. In the USA, it's used more widely. It could be a lawyer who works in a law firm, a lawyer who works in a house, whereas in England, it's mostly used to refer to a barrister or at least some kind of lawyer providing advice for a client going to court or even advocating for them in court. A transactional or deal lawyer is a lawyer who works mostly on business deals, as you might expect, and a litigator is a lawyer who specialises in handling legal disputes and litigation. If you do indeed work in criminal law, you might call yourself a defence lawyer if you defend clients, or a prosecutor if you're working on behalf of the state prosecuting. Next, you might talk about your position in a law firm. I'm a or an state your position at and state the law firm's name. For example, you could be a managing partner. A managing partner is the highest level of position in a law firm. They are responsible for overall strategy of the law firm and the management of the law firm. They are usually also an equity partner. What is an equity partner? An equity partner is a partner who owns a share in the firm, and instead of getting paid a salary, they usually draw, meaning they take, from the profit of the law firm instead of receiving a salary. A partner, just generally calling yourself a partner, or instead a non-equity or a salaried partner, is a senior lawyer with a high level of responsibility, such as getting clients, supervising and mentoring a team. So all of these partners are very high level positions. Next, we've got senior associate, which is a highly experienced lawyer leading cases and mentoring juniors. Then we have a mid-level associate, who is still quite an experienced lawyer. They are not a junior lawyer who comes next down the hierarchy. They may manage their cases and have a certain level of independence within the law firm. A junior associate, on the other hand, is an entry-level lawyer or someone who has been working for a few years. They usually handle basic to mid-level legal tasks, not highly complex tasks, under supervision. A newly qualified lawyer, as you might expect, is a lawyer who has just qualified. They have just completed their training. They are new to the profession. And finally, a trainee. A trainee is someone who is actually training to become a lawyer. Let's take a look at your company position. If you are an in-house lawyer, you will work in a company. So you can, of course, say I'm a or an whatever at and your company name. Note that I'm giving you a general guide to positions, but of course companies might have specific titles for positions, and they will have their own definitions of what these positions entail, which can also be the same for law firms. But as a guide, you've got a chief legal officer. This is a C-suite executive, meaning they're at the chief level, the operating level of the company. They oversee legal matters, corporate strategy, governance, risk management for the company. They report directly to the CEO, the chief executive officer, and are involved in broader business decisions. General counsel is the head of the legal department. They're responsible for managing legal risks, compliance, advising the company. They typically report to the chief legal officer or the chief executive officer, depending on the company's size. Next, we've got the legal director. The legal director manages internal legal matters. In smaller companies, the legal director and the general counsel may actually be the same person. There may not be a distinction between these roles. This is not the case in much larger companies, multinational companies, groups with subsidiaries. In that situation, you usually get legal directors in each of the subsidiaries and then as well a general counsel. Next, we've got senior legal counsel. This is an experienced lawyer. They're handling complex legal issues. We can also have in-house lawyer, legal counsel, which is, as we've seen before, a general term for a lawyer working within a company. And we can actually apply those words at any level. Let's move on to your specialisation and experience. You can say, I specialise in, or my main focus is, and then the area of law, for example, employment law. And I've been working in this area, or I've been practicing for however many years, or since, and then a date. I've underlined this because very often lawyers won't say this correctly. For example, they will say, I work in this area since 2010. It's completely incorrect. You should be saying, I've been working in this area, or I've worked in this area since 2010 or for 15 years. You can also say, before this, I worked at, and give the name of your previous firm, your previous company, your previous position for however many years. And you might also want to say where you studied. I studied law at the University of whatever, and I qualified in 2010. Okay, so in the previous slide, I talked about this phrase, I specialise in, or my main focus is, and then the area of law, for example, employment law. You can also say, I am an employment lawyer. Okay, and this goes for every single one of these practice areas. Let's look at these practice areas. There are many. These are just a few of them. Corporate law governs business operations, those businesses being corporations. Commercial law deals with business transactions, the buying and selling of goods and services. Employment law covers all matters between employee and employer. Real estate law regulates property transactions, the buying, the selling of real property, the leasing of property and land use. Intellectual property is related to patents, trademarks, and copyrights. Banking and finance law focuses on financial regulations, loans, investments. Tax law covers taxation compliance and disputes when they arise, usually between a company and a tax authority. Criminal law involves acting for a defendant or prosecuting an alleged criminal. White-collar crime instead is when you're not necessarily dealing with individuals, but some kind of entity is involved, like a company, a director of a company, a politician, and so on. IT, cyber and data privacy law focuses on internet regulations, cybersecurity and data protection. And finally, competition and antitrust law ensures compliance with competition laws. So remember, you can say, I work in tax law, or I am a tax lawyer. I focus on real estate law, or I'm a real estate lawyer. My specialisation is in commercial law. I'm a commercial lawyer. You can talk about who you work with. For example, I mainly work with, or my clients are, and then, talk generally. Of course, you're not giving away any confidential information without your client's consent. You might say individuals, businesses, international companies, charities, government entities, public companies, non-profit organisations, politicians, banks and financial institutions. And you might talk about the industry, the main industry of your clients. For example, they are mainly in the retail, energy, healthcare, infrastructure sector or industry. And you might give more details. Okay, instead of just saying companies or individuals, you could describe them a bit more. For example, they are usually small and medium-sized enterprises or SMEs, or they're large, multinational or international corporations. They are wealthy individuals or high net worth individuals. You could also explain what you do for clients. For example, I do mainly contentious or non-contentious work. Contentious work involves disputes, negotiating settlements, acting for clients in court, whereas non-contentious work is usually more transactional and giving advice. You could say, I help my clients with contracts, disputes, negotiations, litigation, compliance. You could also say my work involves, and then, some typical tasks that you do: drafting contracts, advising clients, negotiating deals, conducting legal research, reviewing legal documents, litigating disputes, handling regulatory compliance, managing risk, representing clients in court, negotiating settlement. Notice that my work involves, and then you're saying doing, you're using the ing form. Then you might want to end your introduction by saying, what about you? Or, and you? So now let's have a look at some examples of some potential introductions using this kind of format. Example 1, a corporate lawyer. Hi, I'm Sarah Becker, a lawyer based in Berlin. I'm a senior associate at Taylor & Co. I've been working there for almost 5 years. I specialise in corporate law and do a lot of mergers and acquisitions. My clients are mostly large multinational companies, and often I'm advising them on structuring shareholder agreements and also negotiating and drafting these contracts. Okay, let's have a look at example 2, an in-house lawyer. Hello, I'm David Oliveira, an in-house lawyer at Global Tech Ltd in Lisbon. I'm a legal director. I've been working at the company since 2018. I provide legal counsel on corporate policies and regulatory compliance. I work closely with different departments to draft and review our master agreements, and currently I'm working on our ESG compliance. I also liaise with external counsel when the company is involved in legal proceedings. Let's look at the next one, number 3, a real estate lawyer. Hi, I'm Emma Patel, a real estate lawyer at Kingston Law in Geneva. I'm newly qualified and was happy to be offered a position at the firm after my training. I assist the team on a range of contentious and non-contentious matters related to property transactions, such as drafting and negotiating commercial leases and settlement deals for disputes between landlords and tenants. Our clients are mostly property owners and developers. Example 4, an employment lawyer. Hello, I'm Giorgio Ricci. I'm an equity partner at Ricci and Ferrara Law in Milan. My work is primarily non-contentious. A lot of my work involves advising foreign companies with subsidiaries in Italy on compliance with Italian employment law, for example, when there's a merger. So, as you can imagine, I work a lot with the corporate team. As an equity partner, I also have to bring in clients and do other tasks which aren't strictly law related. Example number 5, this is our final example, an IT lawyer. Hi, I'm Caterina Dubois, an IT lawyer at DS Legal in Paris. I'm a counsel. Some firms here in France have this position. It's a type of senior lawyer position, but not a partner. I specialise in data protection law and technology contracts, and so a lot of my clients are in the tech sector. I assist companies in compliance with GDPR, for example, but as counsel, I also mentor junior associates, and sometimes I give lectures to promote the firm at universities. All right, now it's over to you. We're going to have a conversation. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and you are going to fill in the gaps. I'll leave a short space for you to say something, but you might want to pause the video as we go to fill in the blanks yourself. Are you ready? Let's go. Hi, I'm Jenny Jones, a lawyer at XYZ Law Firm. And you? Nice to meet you too. So, what do you do? Where do you work? Interesting. So, what sort of clients do you deal with? Ah, right. And how long have you been practicing? Oh, me? So I started Okay, so after this video, I hope that you feel a bit more confident introducing yourself. And next time you have to do it, you're going to make a really good impression. So that brings me to the end of this lesson. I hope you liked it. I hope that you learned something new. If there are any legal English topics that you're interested in that you would like me to cover in future lessons, please let me know in the comments section below. Subscribe to my channel. Join me on social media. You can find me on Instagram. I am at Legal Englisher. And on Facebook, you can find the Study Legal English Facebook group. Do me a favour, share this video with a colleague, with a friend. It really helps me to grow my channel. So thanks for watching and see you next time.